Good evening, I'm Debbie Daly of Fire Swan Energy, an holistic practice that specializes in Reiki and so much more. To book an appointment with me, you can call 705-341-5673. Thank you so much. Come feel the difference. This is another one of my ghost stories I'd like to share, and I'm actually going to backtrack a little bit. The last video that I did was on Bob, our entity that we had in our home that I purchased 6 years ago. It coincides with that story, but before we got rid of his spirit by doing a cleansing. I'd like to just go over some things that happened before that I'd forgotten. Because I have so many experiences with the paranormal, I forget a lot of them, and if I don't write them down, then they're lost until I can remember them again. So I wanted to do a clearing at my home to get rid of Bob, which we did, and we were successful. We haven't had an incident since. But I do have a recording of his voice, which I'd like to share with you when I'm done telling you these stories. So before we did the cleansing, my son-in-law was here for a visit with my daughter, and he was in the basement, and he was getting a drink out of the fridge, and he heard his name. He had his name called, plain as day. He jumped about 10 feet. He ran upstairs because there was no one else in the basement. He was by himself. And to this day, he does not feel comfortable in the basement. But now that we've got rid of Bob, he probably won't feel so bad down there. My other daughter, her boyfriend was down in the laundry room as well, getting another drink out of the fridge, and he heard his name called. So this is an intelligent person, obviously. He knows our names. He's calling our names. Another day too, this was in the summertime, my boyfriend was here, and he was in the kitchen with my mom, and he stepped back from the table to wipe the table, and he stepped back and he felt a hand on his back, and he turned around, he was thinking it was me, and I was not in the kitchen with him. He went white as a sheet. He came upstairs and told me what happened. It freaked him right out. He's not happy with the touchy-feely as well as I'm not. I don't like that either. So it has been really active. It's done so many things throughout the 6 years that we've been here. I remember one night I was sleeping, and you know how you're just kind of awake, you're not totally asleep yet. I was just kind of laying there, and I heard a whisper in my ear, right by the edge of the bed. I don't like that. That was too up close and personal for me when I was like trying to get to sleep. And I couldn't understand what it said, but I know it was him because he's whispered in my ear several times. The other thing I was going to tell you, oh yes, in the middle of the night, I did the washroom, I got up out of bed, went into the bathroom, sat down in the toilet, and my shower stall is very close to the toilet. And there's a space about a foot above the shower that's open. And as I was sitting there, this black shadow, blacker than the night, the darkness of the room, came down past me while I was sitting on the toilet and left. Freaked me right out. It was very thick. I could definitely see it. It wasn't comfortable at all. So I yelled for my boyfriend. He turned on the lights, but it was gone. So as you can see, we've had numerous occasions with this person we call Bob. So I'd like to share this voice recording, and as I explained in my last video, I'd put my phone on the bar and I'd ask it questions, and I didn't have it on for the first little while. Then when I asked it its name, and I got this recording, if I can find it now for you, just bear with me. So I think I've got it here, and you can tell me what you think, because I think it's a Bob, but if you think different, and hopefully you can hear this. Get it playing here. Hopefully you can hear this at home. So are you ready? Here we go. I really hope that you can hear that. And I'm not erasing that from my phone ever. It's just the weirdest thing ever. It does coincide with the labored breathing that I used to hear in the kitchen. I think it's the same person. And like I said, since we've done our cleansing and clearing, we have not had an incident since. And the other thing I was going to share with you too, when we first bought the house, within days, you'd be doing dishes in the kitchen, and our kitchen's, you know, fairly big, and it's got a big bright kitchen. We've got a big window. And as you do dishes, you can look out the window. And we would see a tall man with dark hair go by the kitchen. And we'd go to the door and nobody would be there. Everyone in my household has seen that or experienced that. It's the weirdest thing. You see the person walk by the window and there's nobody there. You see his head, he's got dark hair, you can see his shoulders, and you can't see the lower part of his body. But every time, and I do believe that may be the Bob that we're seeing and having other things happen with, because we have not seen that person walk by the kitchen window since. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my story, and I really hope you heard this voice. We do have him on video as well in the basement, A Dark Shadow, which I will share with you at some point too when I figure out how to do it. Thank you so much. Good night.